Knicks had nothing for Cade. They had nothing for him.
You are Locked On Pistons, your daily Detroit Pistons podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast. What a day. What an episode this one's about to be. I appreciate all of you guys who make Locked On Pistons your first listen every single day. We're free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. And today's episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Have your cake and drink it too. Birthday cake flavor is back. No fork needed. Vanilla cakey flavor, caffeinated kick, and no sugar. It's party time. Order now at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. I'm going to do it again. For those of you guys listening on audio platforms, I have a Cade jersey hung up behind me. I'm just backing up a little bit from the mic, and I'm just making sure everyone watching can see. I ain't got nothing. I could sit here and just point at that jersey and not say anything. I could just sit there and point at the jersey and not say a single word. For those of you guys who are listening and wondering, why are you so hype? I've been out of the NBA. I've been under a rock. I've been on vacation. We didn't have electricity. We didn't have Wi-Fi. None of that. Well, what are you so hype about? It's just a regular Thursday night, Friday morning. What happened? What could have possibly happened that has you acting like this? Well, I'll fill you in, of course. That's why you listen to the podcast. The Pistons destroy the New York Knicks again. Again, 3 times this season. The season series is over, and the Pistons in every single game took BTA. You don't know what that means? It's belt to bleep. To the New York Knicks over and over and over again. And this game was not at LCA. This game was not in Detroit. This game was in New York. This game was on Madison Square Garden. This game was on national TV. And this game, the Pistons had to play without Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart. They had to start Paul Reed, and they had to play G-Leaguer Tolu Smith 18 and a half minutes in this game. And after the Pistons destroyed the Knicks in the last matchup, the excuse was, well, the Knicks didn't have all our guys. We didn't have everybody. You guys took advantage of a team that wasn't here. Even though the first game of the year, they got destroyed as well, and they had their guys. But is what it is. That was the excuse after the second matchup. Now coming into this matchup, I have my glasses on now. I don't know if you guys know this or not. People in the audio probably don't know, but I have my glasses on, so I can see clearly now. So I should be able to read this correctly. If I'm reading this correctly, Jalen Brunson, yeah, he played 37 minutes. Karl-Anthony Towns, he played in this game 30 minutes. Mikal Bridges, 25 and a half minutes. OG Anunoby, okay, yeah, 31 and a half minutes. Yeah, he played. Jose Alvarado, yeah, pick up at the deadline. Pesty defender, supposed to give problems. He played 20 and a half minutes, okay. Mitch Robinson, supposed to destroy the Pistons on the glass, offensive rebounding. Yeah, he was also here, 19 minutes. What about that dude they signed to, that got waived? They signed him because he was going to be a cage stopper, a big athletic wing defensive guy. Jeremy Sohan. Oh yeah, he was here. He played 10 minutes. Oh, okay, and he got put on a highlight. We'll talk about that later. All of these guys were here, as long as I'm reading correctly. And all that resulted in the Pistons being shorthanded in New York this time, with the New York fully healthy team coming off an all-star break, fully rested, and they still got destroyed, and you still got demolished, and you still got manhandled, bullied, taken out back. You got, again and again and again. Paul, you know what? We'll talk about the supporting cast later. Cade, 42 points. 42 points. Mind you, this dude is so legendary. Cade, if you're listening to this, Cade, Ashton, Cannon, you guys, Cade, you're so tough, bro. Cade Cunningham, the same day of this game, he's on the cover of GQ, and one of the quotes one of the quotes he had in the article was basically, we have a bunch of people. One of the things I think is the biggest issue with the league is the flopping. We got 3 of the top 5, top 10 guys flopping all the time. What are we going to do about that? We need to get that out the game. And the article goes on to insinuate that he was maybe talking about Luka Doncic, that he was talking about Jalen Brunson. Kay didn't say their names, but, you can kind of do the math there. And on the same day that he calls them out for flopping, the same day that he calls them out for fighting for free throw attempts, he goes out on Madison Square Garden, drops 42 points on 60 true shooting with just 3 free throw attempts. I mean, does the aura get better than that, man? Does the legend get even better than that? The same day he calls dudes out about flopping, he goes out and drops an ethical 42 on an efficient 60 true shooting with only 3 free throw attempts needed. 3 free throw attempts needed. Dominated. Absolutely dominated the New York Knicks. Maybe, I am not joking when I say this, and he has played some incredible games. This might be the best game I've seen Cade play. And I think I've said that now twice in matchups against the Knicks. I am telling you guys, Cade has a personal vendetta against the New York Knicks. He saw he knows what happened in the playoffs last year. He knows that he didn't play his best. He turned the ball over a little too much. He knows he wasn't the most efficient he could have been in the playoffs last year. He knows all that. And he went to the offseason and went to worked on his conditioning. He's now one of the best fourth quarter scorers in the league after struggling with that early in his career because he struggled with conditioning a little bit. He was worn down by the end of the game. Guess what he did? He went to the offseason, worked on the conditioning, worked on his strength. Now he comes into this league. Now he's top 5 in fourth quarter scoring. Now he's one of the best clutch players in the entire league. Now he comes into this game. What did the Knicks do to him last year? They gave him a lot of pull-up threes. This year he's shooting 35% pull-up threes. What did he do in this game? Nothing special. Just 5 of 11 from 3, including, remember that Jeremy Shohan I mentioned earlier that they signed to be this Cade stopper? They need to add some physicality, some toughness, some perimeter defense, all that stuff because, in the previous matchups, they felt like they didn't have answers. Throughout the year, they felt like they didn't have answers for guys like this. Go out and get him. All it took was, just give him 2 possessions. All it took was a few possessions in the fourth quarter. He pushed Sohan on a nasty, nasty highlight. Give him a tween, cross, step back, losing him, breaks his ankle, step back 3, gets in his face, talks trash, gets physical with him on the way back, lets him know what's up. Cade, absolutely, this is one of the best games I have ever seen him play, probably the best game I've seen him play. And I'm just talking about offensively now. All I'm talking about right now is just how dominant he was offensively. I didn't even mention, and this is offense, but I didn't even mention he had 13 assists as well. They bring the extra bodies. He's picking them apart. I mean, how many guys, you could probably count them on a single hand. How many guys are an engine for a team's offense, the main guy scoring without much help on your offense? He's able to kill you as a scorer. He picks you apart as a playmaker. The Knicks started sending extra bodies and started helping. Guess what he started doing? Just started finding open guys for dunks, for layups, one of the best interior passers in the league. It finds Duncan Robinson for open threes. Nothing special. And then what else does he do? He goes out and he grabs 8 rebounds. Remember that Mitchell Robinson I mentioned earlier that's supposed to destroy the Pistons on the glass because they don't have, again, don't forget last game it was that they didn't have everybody. This game, the Pistons don't have Jalen Duren, who, by the way, they haven't had him in any of these matchups against the Knicks. And they also didn't have Isaiah Stewart. And they still dominated. And Mitchell Robinson only had 6 rebounds. You want to know who had more rebounds than Mitchell Robinson? Cade Cunningham, your point guard, your starting point guard, had more rebounds than the other team center that's supposed to be one of the best offensive rebounders in the entire NBA. What else did that guy do? What else did your star offensive engine, playmaker, rebounder do? He also got 2 blocks. He also got a steal. He also played incredible defense. So not only are we witnessing for the Detroit Pistons on national TV and really throughout the season en route to the Pistons being the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, we are watching a guy who is capable of carrying the offensive load as a scorer for the Detroit Pistons. We're watching a guy who is capable of carrying all the playmaking load for the Detroit Pistons on a level that maybe nobody else in the league is doing outside Nikola Jokic. He's able to do it as a scorer. He's able to do it as a playmaker. He's able to be a two-way player, make blocks at the rim, be a weak-side rim protector, be in passing lane, stay in front of guys. Then he's also able to impact on the glass knowing, hey, I'm without my big guys. They need me on the glass. And what does he do? He just goes out there and gets 8 rebounds and is second on the team in rebounds. He leads the team in scoring. He leads the team in assists. He gets blocks at the rim. He's second in rebounding. Whatever you need Cade Cunningham to do, he will do for the Detroit Pistons, and he did that for them tonight against the New York Knicks as he absolutely took them out back, destroyed them on national TV, and let them know that he is the best player in the Eastern Conference. The funny thing about last year is that it was last year. We're in 2026 now. That ain't the same Cade. This Cade, no one in the East wants any parts. There's not players doing it like this. There's not players out here. There's not many players in the league. Again, you can count them on a single hand who can do all the things that Cade's able to do while also carrying an offensive load that he does. This was an incredible, absolutely magnificent game from Cade Cunningham. I think it was the best game that he's ever played in his career. Best game I think I've ever seen him play. I mean, this was surgical. He was shooting over guys. He was bullying OG Anunoby. Mikal Bridges basically got benched so they could try Shohan and give him a chance just for him to get put on a highlight. He destroyed him, man. I don't know what else to say. He killed him. I mean, absolutely took it to him. 3-0 season series sweep. Not one game was close. Not one. Each game was a demolition job. Each game. Average margin of defeat is somewhere around 30 points. I mean, and this one again, they didn't have Duren throughout any of those games, and this one they didn't have Stu or Duren. Doesn't matter. Paul Reed bullied Cat, and we'll talk about that coming up, how the Pistons role player showed up and bullied. Yes, I said that, bullied the New York Knicks. We'll break it down coming up. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals live and in person? FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on any NBA future, and you'll automatically be entered for a chance to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. That's right, flights, tickets, the whole experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock it in. And now, not only can you pick your cash, but it also could send you to the NBA Finals. Also, you can visit FanDuel.com to get started today. Use your profit boost on NBA Future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Then I've got to tell you guys about another one of our sponsors. This one is our good friends over at Quo. New year, new system. This is the time when a lot of us look at the messier parts of how we run our business and think there has to be a better way. And there is. Streamlining your communications is one of the quickest upgrades you can make. That's why today's episode is brought to you by Quo, spelled Q-U-O, the smarter way to run your business communications. Because when your team is reachable, organized, and communicating in one place, you're not just working cleaner, you're creating more opportunities to connect with customers. I love how simple Quo makes everything. Your whole team can call and text from one shared business phone number, so nothing gets missed. And Quo's smart AI tools automatically log calls, summarize conversations, and highlights next steps so details never slip through the cracks. It's no surprise Quo's number one rated business phone system on G2, trusted by more than 90,000 businesses from solo operators to growing teams. Make this the year where no opportunity and no customer slips away. Try Quo for free, plus get 20% off your first 6 months when you go to Quo.com/LockedOnNBA. That's QUO.com/LockedOnNBA. Quo, no missed calls, no missed customers with Quo. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. And if you want to join the Everydayer Club, where you can talk with me and the rest of the Locked On Pistons community, and you can also get ad-free listens to your Locked On Piston episodes. No ads. You get one clean listen. You can join the Everydayer Club, and you get those perks along with a few other perks as well. You can head over to LockedOnPodcast.com/Everydayer Club to check it out. And if it's something you want to get into, you guys can check it out and join the club. I'll see you guys in the Discord. You can also head to, if you want to be a little quicker with it, you can head over to LockedOnPodcast.supercast.com to get direct access. My goodness, I'm so excited. I can't even speak. Direct access. Oh my! I'm done. We're done with the Everydayer Club. Join in if you want to. We're talking about Paul Reed now. And we need to get there. Paul Reed started this game. 18 points, 7 rebounds. Yet again, he's needed upon. They call his number. They ask him to come out and play. Hey, it's national TV. We're playing the New York Knicks. You're going up against Karl-Anthony Towns. We need you to play. Guys are suspended. You're back in the rotation. You're in the starting lineup, actually. What you got for us? And all he had for you was, again, like I said, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. He had 3 blocks. He had a steal. He had 3 offensive rebounds. And most importantly, he absolutely bullied Karl-Anthony Towns, who ended the game with 21 points. He woke up a little bit, just a little bit in that third quarter. He ended up with 12 points in that third quarter. Outside of that, he had 12 points throughout the rest of the game, or 9 points throughout the rest of the game. Numerous occasions, especially in the second half, because you saw the broadcast, or you heard the broadcast talking about how Karl-Anthony Towns needs to be more aggressive. They need him to be more aggressive. Blake Griffin calls him out at the halftime show. So the Knicks come out after halftime, and rightfully so. Cat was basically unused in the first half. And they were like, we got to get Cat involved here in the second half. That's our only chance. So they get Cat involved. And he starts having himself a quarter in the third quarter, 100%. He starts having himself a quarter. But what ends up happening is Cat starts to feel himself a little bit too much. Now all of a sudden he thinks he can just drive it on Paul Reed every time. And what does that result in? That results in Cat getting blocked twice. That results in 2 turnovers for Cat. And it results in Jalen Brunson, who they got on camera after Cat gets swatted at the rim and falls to the ground against Paul Reed. Pistons bench going crazy. Camera gets Jalen Brunson over on the bench, putting his hand over his head just in disbelief that he just got blocked. Cat just got bullied tonight. He got bullied tonight. I don't care what the stat line looks like. 21 and 11. He got absolutely bullied tonight. The only quarter that he was impactful at all in was the third quarter. And every other quarter, actually, you know what? That's wrong. He was impactful in the fourth quarter as well, but negatively. He was impactful in the third quarter. He was non-existent in the first and second quarter. They just took him out the game completely. And then the fourth quarter, he was a straight-up negative for the team. He tried throwing a Magic Johnson floating in the air pass lob that resulted in a turnover and Duncan Robinson 3. He got blocked to the rim numerous times by Paul Reed. He got the ball ripped from him by Paul Reed. He was just actively, he might as well put a Pistons jersey on. He got bullied tonight. Got bullied tonight by Paul Reed, who, again, just continues to ball out every single time he's called upon. He just plays tremendous. This is absolutely tremendous anytime he plays. This is not a third-string center. This is a legit impact player on almost all the NBA teams. It's crazy that the Pistons have him. He's been fantastic, and he was insane in this game. Next person we got to give credit to. Absolutely has to get a full round of applause. Probably won't get a ton of credit from everybody because he went 4 of 16 from the field. But I do not care. Tobias had 11 points in this game. He did not shoot the ball well from the floor at all. He even missed 2 free throw attempts. That is all true. But again, just like Cade, Tobias realized we do not have Jalen Duren. We do not have Isaiah Stewart. This team needs me on the glass. They need me on defense, and I have to save us and help us on the glass. That has to be what I do here. This is what they need me to do tonight. And what does Tobias Harris go out and do? He goes out and gets 10 rebounds, the second highest rebounder in the game behind Karl-Anthony Towns. On top of that, he adds 5 assists. On top of that, he adds a block. On top of that, he adds a steal. And he was a team high, plus 17 in his 31 minutes. Tobias, these are the games that I know before the deadline we talked about, hey, if you have to flip Tobias maybe for an impact player, you might have to do it. And I know he hasn't had the best season this year. He's been great in the post. He has been. But he hasn't been as good as, I don't think, as he was last year. Even though I don't think he's been bad. He's been fine. But it's games like this. It's games like this when you just sit back and say, they need him. Would MPJ have been nice on this team? 100%. But they need that guy. Tobias has to be a Piston. Like, they need him. His veteran presence in the locker room is loved. He's great for teammate chemistry. He leads this team on and off the floor. He's great at settling the team down. And then on the court, really, it's honestly impressive that he's doing this at the back end. I don't know. He's not super old. He's not like 37 or anything. But he's definitely on the back end, I would say, of his career. That he's now becoming this, you know what, whatever you guys need me to do, I'm coming out here and doing it tonight. And I'm going to give everything defensively. Tobias was never known as this great defender. I'm not saying he's AUsar Thompson on defense or anything. But at this stage in his career, we've now seen him last year and this year come out when they've needed him, you need me to guard Cat? Fine. I'll guard Cat, and I'll be super physical. I'll be there on the catch. He won't get catch and shoot threes against me. You need me to be physical down low and battle with Cat and Mitchell Robinson on the glass, and really Josh Hart as well on the glass. That's what you guys need from me? Fair. I'll do that too. You guys want me to fight on defense? Heck, I'll do that too. Whatever it is you need from Tobias, he comes out and does it while being a tremendous leader. So it's games like this that even when he shoots 4 of 16, his presence, the plus minus in this game, single game plus minus, can be a little bit noisy at times, 100%. This 100% matched the eye test. He was so important to them tonight. And his ability, again, like I said, to just do whatever the team needs him to do in a specific game, in a marquee game, is tremendous. And this is why they wanted him here. This is why he's still here. And this is why he's probably going to retire a Piston. And honestly, I'm happy about it. He's by far, in a way, not even close. I think probably the best veteran that they've had since, even going back to 2018. Like, I think in a long time, he is by far the best vet that they've had with the Pistons in a very long time. And I have no problems with him retiring here. Absolutely no problems with it. He battles. He plays like a Detroit Piston. He loves Detroit. He wants to be here. And he just does what the team needs of him. And then lastly, before we move on, in the final segment, I want to talk about why it's time to everyone just admit it. It's time to just stop walking around it. The Pistons are the team to beat. But, and we'll give some shouts to other players as well in the final segment, because we got to give a lot of people credit here. But finally, we got to talk about AUsar Thompson, who had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, with 3 steals in this game. He also got active on the glass, 5 rebounds. Really, let's give the whole team a shout on the glass real quick, by the way. Cade with 8, Paul Reed with 7, AUsar with 5, Caris with 2, Javonte with 5, Ron with 2, Tobias Harris with 10, Duncan with the rebound, Dennis with 2, Tolu with 2. This team as a whole knew that they were without their big man, and everybody showed up and got active on the glass. It was truly impressive to watch. But AUsar Thompson, his defense was incredible tonight. I think one of the questions, his defense is incredible all the time. And there was one play in the half court where it was like a lurker in Madden. He completely just baited the Knicks bad on a steal in the right corner. It was crazy stuff. One of the things I've said on the podcast recently is that what I want to see from them, the Pistons, the most the rest of the year, is them try to figure out and test different things about, okay, what can we do when teams try to hide a bad defender on AUsar, or they try to put a big on AUsar? And I think you saw the Pistons do some of that tonight, which I hope they do even more of it, because it looked good when they tried to do it. They tried to use him as a screener a little bit more. I know in one of the plays, they used him as a screener. He got downhill in the short roll. They gave it to him, and he did miss a left-hand layup at the rim. You want him to make those, obviously, but the process was good. And most of the time, they generated good looks. They even gave him a post-up against Jalen Brunson. They let him attack downhill a lot. He had 4 assists, I believe, all in the first quarter or all in the first half from him just attacking downhill and finding open guys. I think you saw some of the stuff that they might try to do and some of the answers they may have for when teams try to play this way against AUsar. I liked how they used him tonight. I feel like they can use him even more like that when everyone's healthy. Just having him in the corner, it's not helping anyone, really, just sitting him in the corner the whole time. Use him as a screener. Let him handle the ball in transition, get downhill. He's a great transition playmaker. Let him play in the short roll as a passer and let him get downhill. Like, all of that stuff, we saw a bit of it tonight, and it really worked against the Knicks. So AUsar was great defensively as usual, but I really like some of the ways they used him offensively in this game as well. We'll talk about some of the other players that played really well tonight, but really I want to talk about, it's time for everyone just to accept it. Detroit is the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. There's no more, well, they're young. Oh, what about the half-court offense? I'm done with all of it. I've officially moved past it. Does that mean I don't have little concerns about their half-court offense? Of course. Everyone objective and can be real about that. But coming up, I'm done. I'm done acting like that stops me or should stop anyone from just flat out saying the Pistons are the team to beat in the East, and they should be considered, my goodness, legit championship contenders. We'll talk about it coming up. Welcome to the 5-Hour Energy Flavor Draft. We're looking at every aspect of the draft to let you know which tasty flavors are the best and which just might be sleepers. The board is set and the flavors are ready, and only one is going to take the top spot. 5-Hour Energy has a wide variety of flavors and something for everyone. What are the flavors you're talking about, Khahil? I got you right here. You got cotton candy, confetti craze, fruity rainbow, but my personal favorite, and along with a bunch of other ones, you got strawberry watermelon, tropical burst, all of these, but my personal favorite is strawberry banana, a tropical delight with strawberry, a taste that goes in everything from smoothies and milkshakes to cakes and ice cream. Find your new favorite flavor of 5-Hour Energy shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. Again, find your new favorite flavor of 5-Hour Energy shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. I recommend, again, the strawberry banana, but you got a ton of flavors. I didn't even mention the grape, the berry, the Hawaiian breeze, all kinds of them. You can check out all these flavors at, again, 5hourenergy.com or Amazon. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. Here's a picture I wanted to share on the podcast, or a chart, I guess, I wanted to share on the podcast tonight, especially after the Pistons destroy the Knicks. Actually, before we actually say that chart, let me say shout out to Caris, LeVert, who has gotten a lot of criticism. He played really well in this game. Played really well. 8 points, 3 of 6, was impactful defensively, ripped Jalen Brunson up. Really good stuff. Javonte Green, 9 points and 5 rebounds, continues to be impactful. Ron Holland only played 12 minutes, but 7 points, 2 rebounds. He was impactful. Duncan Robinson, he was 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, did his thing. Dennis Jenkins came on off the bench again, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, was getting into it with Jose Alvarado. I think he probably won that matchup. And then I don't think, did he play the best game? Probably not. But Tolu Smith came in and he battled. He gave it everything he possibly had. He battled with Mitchell Robinson. He battled with Karl-Anthony Towns. He was physical. He used up his fouls. He made sure that he left with 5 fouls in 18 minutes. He battled out there, and that's all you can ask for a G League guy. He went out there and gave it everything he had on the floor and was extremely physical. And for what it's worth, I thought I thought he did better than I expected him to. I thought Mitchell Robinson probably was going to give him problems, and he did a much better job than even I think he could have done. So give those guys all the credit in the world. But there's this chart I wanted to share because Data Baller, which is the best basketball site out there if you're a nerd with stats, just had an update, and it was absolutely fantastic. And one of the things that they added to the site was using advanced analytical data to find historical comparisons, accurate historical comparisons to present-day teams. So if you go to the Pistons, which I did, and I tweeted this out, I think this is very interesting. And it leads into why I'm going to say the Detroit Pistons, they may be a unique team. They 100% are a unique team. But they are the favorite in the Eastern Conference. They are the best team in the Eastern Conference. They are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. And should they be able to get to the NBA Finals? 100%. Should we be shocked? Should the NBA fan base, community be shocked if Detroit ends up in the NBA Finals? Absolutely not if you've been watching the games. And if you listen to this chart here, I think you walk away feeling even more confident, to be honest about it. Here are the teams. Again, according to analytical data, thanks to Data Baller, went through all NBA history to find the best comparisons of this team. Here are the top 3. There's a lot here. They have 15, but the top 3 closest resembling teams. The 2003-2004 Indiana Pacers, who lost to only, you guessed it, the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, who ended up winning the NBA championship. That team was arguably the second or third best team in the entire league that year. Next closest comparison is the 2016-2017 San Antonio Spurs. That's a memorable team. You want to know why that's a memorable team? That's the year Kawhi Leonard went up against the Golden State Warriors with KD, and they were up, 30, 20-something, and then he had the ankle injury. But that San Antonio Spurs team, many believed, was the second best team in the NBA and only lost to maybe the greatest team we've ever seen in the 16-17 Golden State Warriors. And the third most resembled team, the highest resemblance, the 2002-2003 New Jersey Nets. What did that team do? That was the team, you guys know what team that is. That is the team with Jason Kidd. I want to pull up their exact statistics here for what they did this season. They went 49-33, first in the Atlantic Division. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They won the Eastern Conference Finals. And they lost in the NBA Finals. So all three of these teams that they say, or that these numbers suggest, that the Pistons are closely resembled to, the best comparisons for this year's Detroit Piston team. Every single one of them went to the conference finals, and every single one of them, the only team that beat them was the best team in the NBA. They ended up winning the championship. The Golden State Warriors, the 2004 Detroit Pistons, and the team that beat the New Jersey Nets was the San Antonio Spurs, led by Tim Duncan. What that says to me is this. And if you're wondering, I will share this. If you're wondering, is there a team on here that within, close resemblance, I don't want to go super deep down the list, but is there a team in close resemblance, according to this, that actually did win the championship? There's one. There's one in the top 8. It's San Antonio in 2004 and 2005. That was a team that beat the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals. But every other one of these teams, the top 3 comparisons, every single one of them, the closest compared teams, all made it to the conference finals. They all lost only to the best team in the NBA. So if you believe that the Pistons are the best team in the Eastern Conference, and if you do have the belief that the championship favorite is coming out of the West, it should not shock anybody if the Detroit Pistons were to get to the NBA Finals and put up a fight against the Oklahoma City Thunder, or put up a fight against the Denver Nuggets. If they were to win the NBA Finals this year and win the championship, that would be some historical stuff. You haven't seen this kind of stuff happen. That would be historical. But the data from this year's team tells you that one of the best teams in the league. The data from this year's team tells you the best in the East. And if you go historical comparisons, which, again, just an insanely great update from Data Baller, some really great stuff you can do on there. This was by far my favorite. You go historical and look at teams that resembled this team. How did they fare in those seasons? Similar to the Detroit Pistons, they all only lost to the championship the championship team that season. So should the NBA community be surprised if the only team that takes out the Pistons in the NBA playoffs ends up being whoever wins the NBA championship? Probably out west? No, we shouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying that the Pistons in year two of a great turnaround have to make the NBA Finals. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they have to win the championship. I'm not saying that. If they were to make it to the second round and put up a fight, everyone would still be very happy with this season. They are on the right track 100%. And if that's how it went, we know how it probably would go. It probably would be because of the half-court offense, and we know exactly how they will get better, and they will be back next year to go to the NBA Finals and try to win a championship. No one, I don't think anyone's sitting here saying, I'm certainly not saying they have to make the finals, or if they don't, it's a disappointing season. What I am saying is it's about time for the NBA community to stop acting like this is just a fun story. This is just a cute team. This is the best team in the Eastern Conference. This is one of the very best teams in the entire NBA. And whether they have their starters, whether they have their second all-star or not, they will put you on blast. They will destroy you if you're not ready to match their physicality. And newsflash, I don't think there's many teams in the league that are ready to match their physicality. This is one of the best defenses we've seen in the last few years. After the season, I think you'll see a lot of people in the NBA community talk about, man, this Detroit defense wasn't just good for this year. This might be one of the best defenses we've seen in a minute. This team is like last year's OKC Thunder. This is a fantastic defensive team. And they absolutely swallow you up. They converge on you. They suffocate you. And you just don't have any options. You don't know where to go. There's no openings. And they turn you over. And next thing you know, in 2 minutes, they may not go up 15 from threes, but they'll go up 15 from turning the ball over or turning you over and getting out on the fast break. Next thing you know, they've gotten 7 layups in a minute and a half, and now you got to call a timeout. They've proven it over and over and over again. It's about time people started acting like it. This team certainly can get to the NBA Finals. Honestly, they should be the favorite to get to the NBA Finals out of the Eastern Conference. For the 3rd time this year, they obliterate the New York Knicks. And Cade's proven to be an MVP candidate. And he's the best player between the Pistons and Knicks. Last year was last year. We're in 2026 now. It's time to update your priors. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. Free and available on all your podcast platforms. Hit that subscribe button to the YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. What a great Pistons season, man. Can't wait to see how it ends. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.